All right, so I promised on and delivered on a 3-part mini series on decision making for humans, let alone entrepreneurs, in terms of staying more sane. Heather Ramsey here, Rewired Worldwide. And if you haven't watched those, I'd highly encourage you to. Quick, immediate wins in your sanity and in your life and in your success around shifting. This shift, it's not just a one-time fix, it's a process and a shift from stuck, log-jammed indecisiveness and shifting into more decisive and clear and in flow, and life is easier and things come to you more naturally and you really are living versus waffling in the decision, the caught in the indecisiveness of life. So just to recap, that first one was around a 4-step process to shift from indecisive to decisive. The second was around leaning forward versus back when you're a prospect and or with your prospects, so that you're guiding them to better yes or no decisions. The third was more a philosophical or a possible stance or different relationship towards decision making, which is possibly you could just act on your yeses. When you get signals as a yes of what to do, act on those. And the rest falls away. There are no quote unquote decisions, just acting on yeses. And I was going to cap it at that, but there's really an extra piece that I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't bring to you. And this is what I teach also in the Rewired for Business year-long mastermind, is when you've got more complex decisions, when you might have contractors that you're choosing, like I'm in the middle of doing a reno and selecting a contractor, when you're in the middle of maybe you're making decisions around outsourcing, who to outsource to, or joint venture partners to work with, or a particular marketing strategy, which one to choose, or which software to choose for a particular application in your business. So lots of more complex choices, or what vacation you're going to take your family on, or what pair of, snow boots or snowboard are you going to buy. So, but there's more complex decisions. You can use what's referred to as a decision-making matrix. So I'm going to just lightly give you the heads up on this and the highlights, because it's got some depth to it. But it's what it's called is the decision-making matrix. And what you first do is you lay out your options. So let's say your top 3 options in your particular decision. So you name them and what they are, whether it's which hotel you're picking for your event, which marketing strategy you're picking, map out your options. Then the second key thing that people miss on is really looking at what are my decision-making criteria, or what would success look like when I made this decision. And so what you do, the second step, is to map out your criteria, your top criteria, and it could be 3, maybe 5 max for your decision making. So I put out a few options here of what your criteria might be. Often it has something to do with dollars, and not always, because a lot of successful people don't base it on dollars, but base it on the results or the caliber that they're looking for. And so a second criteria may be quality, in terms of mapping out the quality that the contractor or the partner is going to deliver on. And then third might be, now you're going to create your own criteria, but third might be personality. Can I work with them? Do I like working with them? Do I want to be part of this partnership? So that's what you map out: your options, then your criteria. And then on a scale of your choosing, in this example I've done a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is the best, you map out and you score each of those options. So in this case, the first contractor was the most reasonably priced, and so I gave them a score of 5. Their quality, questionable though, at 2, and personality, I could work with them, but it wasn't like I wasn't jumping up and down. Then the second option, their price was much more expensive, so they got a lower score. Their quality and the references were like second to none, but the arrogance factor was, I just don't think I could work with them. And then the third one that you can see here, where the option is, they pretty much got top scores all the way across. A reasonable price, not the lowest, but definitely reasonable, great quality, and I really got a kick out of picturing myself working with them. And so when you total up the scores, this third one got the highest score. So the totals come across the bottom, 10, 8, and 12, and the winner is number 3. 3. And so that's how the decision-making matrix works in a nutshell. There's more complex layers to it, and you can actually weight your criteria, and I won't go into all of the details, but I want to at least give you a heads up on what more complex decisions can look like. So that's the decision-making matrix. If you've got even one more complex decision or set of options that you're choosing from this week, I encourage you just to take even like 10 minutes to run it through the decision-making matrix and see how much faster and or clearer and or committed you are to the decision you've made, which is half the win. It being in flow when you're in the decision-making process is being committed to the decision you've made and feeling good about the decision you've made. So making decisions clearer, faster, more often, easier, and that you're more aligned to and you're staying in and feeling in flow about when you're making them. That's my goal for you. 4 great trainings, 3 parts with this bonus 4th part to the decision-making mini-series, Rewired for Success training, supporting you, Heather Ramsey, at being your most awesome, successful business and entrepreneur and taking your business up a next notch. So write to us, post us, comment on a decision-making matrix that you ran through or any wins you've had in making clearer, faster, better decisions through this 4-part mini decision-making series on your success. Looking forward to hearing your wins and supporting you higher and higher. Cheers, over and out.